Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk about just the different generations. I know a lot of people are saying and feeling that our new generation, our children are very sensitive, right? And that they're going through all these emotions and, we weren't that way and what's going on with these kids. Well, I'm going to tell you why we've gotten to this point, and it's not a bad thing. We've gotten to this point, and our children are very sensitive because they're now feeling something that most of us didn't do for a long time because we were in this rat race of the way we were conditioned. So now this new generation is it's the alpha generation. It's the generation X and Z, and I'm going to go through all of them so you can understand all these generations. A lot of things have happened in order to get to where we're getting to now. So our children now have the time that we didn't have, that our grandparents didn't have, because they were in that rat race, either in a survival mode because we had to survive. And now that we've gotten to a point where these kids have all this time, and they have the time to actually feel, and not only feel, but see what's really going on in the world, what's happening, anywhere. It's at the tip of your fingers, right? You can Google anything. You can see, what's going on. They're killing people for their belief in Christ, which is love. They've been doing this war for 6,000 years, and now we're actually seeing it. That's the difference, guys. The difference is that we're actually seeing it, and our children have that access, and they're seeing what's happening, right? So let me explain to you how we got here and how God has allowed this to happen, because a lot of people say, well, God is so mighty, if God's in control of everything, why does he allow all this to happen? Well, he gave us will, and we're doing it. We're the people doing it. There's people killing people. Everybody has to be accountable. God gave us will, but with that will, he knew the outcome, everything. Because from this that we're seeing today, we're going to learn, because this has been going on for 6,000 years from the beginning of humanity. It's been a war against good and bad, light and dark. Now we're seeing it. Our children are seeing it. So they're sensitive. Is that what we're calling them? They have to be on psych meds because they have all these questions. Like, no, guys, it's actually feeling. And we've been so conditioned to not feel, to be in this outer realm, into the realm of, doing all this superficial stuff from, name brands. And I'm not even going to get into that. Let's go. Yeah, because that could be a whole other video. And don't get me wrong, I like name brands too. But here we go. So everything is in the Word. We are literally living revelations. Revelations means revealed. Truth, everything. The apocalypse means the same thing. So let's start with the silent generation. The silent generation was born in 1928 to 1945. So that's the generation of my parents. My dad's actually going to be 93, and he was born in 1928. So that's 93 years ago. If you were born in 1928 to 1945, that would be the silent generation. That was a generation of literally silent. Nothing was happening. It was in the mix of wars. Then we had the baby boomers. The baby boomers were born in 1946 to 1964. Now I have siblings that are 18 and 20 years older than I am, so that would be the baby boomers. Now all these baby boomers started to come up with ideas. They opened up shops. They opened up, they opened up their own businesses. It was more of, hey, it's time to do some stuff. We can go out there and work. And that's what the baby boomers were doing. Then we had the Generation X. Generation X was literally born into this conditioning of mother and father working. So we were basically, back in my days, they called it latch keys babies or something like that, because we always had our little keys latched onto us, and they called us, like that. But mom and dad would be working, so all we knew was that mom and dad always worked, and it was survival. It was more of like, hey, you got to go after the money in order to be happy type of deal. So that was the baby boomers, Generation X. That's what I was born into, and that was 1965 to 1980. So that's Generation X. And again, we were born into that conditioning. So for example, for me, I started working at 13. And again, it was we were in a very survival mode. Everybody basically knew you had to work in order to survive. It wasn't more like you just live for yourself through God. That was not anymore. That was the ancient times, this was now the rat race, right? So then we have the millennials. The millennials are born in 1981 through 1996. So the millennials are actually, are born from this Generation X that has literally worked from when they were in their teens. They worked really hard, and the economy was really good as well. And they were able to build so that the millennials would have all the everything that we worked for. Our children were now getting it, and those are the millennials. So those are actually both my children were born in, one was born in 1990 and the other one was born in 1996. So my children are millennials. So they were born in abundance. Still kind of with the idea of the money situation, kind of like chasing the money brings you all these luxuries, etc., right? And then we have Generation Z. Now, Generation Z was born in 1997 to 2012. Generation Z, this is what my granddaughter is and my daughter-in-law, and these are beautiful souls. Now, Generation Z has a lot of time to think, because their parents were born in abundance, and now they're kind of leveling off. They have they're being raised, yes, by something that's like money. They have all this abundance, but they also have all this time. So money doesn't really matter, because money has never been a struggle for this generation. Everything is always there. They don't go hungry. It's a generation that has a lot of time, right? It's more of exactly that. They have time to think. They have time to be in the technology, because those children that are born, the actual Generation Z, they know technology. They were born into it, where the millennials, they saw that transition, right? So Generation Z has been born into that. So it wasn't about money. It was more about just being aware. And when you're aware, you start to feel. And when you start to feel, things come about. And a lot of the generations before don't understand what these children are going through, because we've never had time to feel. I believe that my generation's the one that's breaking that and forward, because the ones before me, most of them, it's very difficult for them to understand, because there's been so much change, and there's been so many, things that they've gone through they can't comprehend. They do comprehend, it's just too much to grasp, right? Again, so that's Generation Z. They're born into the technology. They feel everything. So you would think, you got to Z. Is that it? Well, no, we have the alphas. And the alphas is a very, very important generation. I call these children angels. These are... we're all angels, but these alphas are amazing. They're born in 2013 to 2020. That is an amazing cycle. That is 7 years of being in the golden era. The Mayan calendar finished at the end of 2012, entering 2013. We were entering a new cycle, a cycle of the, again, golden era, the time of Aquarius. I have videos just explaining on that. But right now, again, focusing on the alphas are exactly what that means. They're going to direct with their heart. They're going to, because they literally are born in love, because all the generations before them have been able, it's a 6,000 year cycle, okay? And the 6,000 years finished in 2013. So we're literally in a new time. We were born in the mud and now we're in the light. So all these alphas are literally going to be leading through their heart. They're not going to be moved by money and things and outer things and outer things, because now they just go with what they feel. I know it's a lot to, to be able to grasp in one video of, 10 minutes. I'm on 11 minutes already. They say that you have to capture your audience within 3 minutes, because that's how short of a span we all have. Everybody wants instant gratification. I can't give you guys everything in one small video, but I just have to make you understand that this is real. Everything is in the Word, and how I started this video, that everything will be revealed, and you ask God and God will reveal himself to you. We are connected. We are a fragment of God, and we have a connection straight to him. We don't need anything else but love, and love is Christ. And that's why it says that we are in Christ consciousness. And because everything's so aware, everything's at the tip of our hands. Literally, we can see every video, we can know knowledge. You don't have to be a rabbi, you don't have to be, a king, you don't have to be. We just have to be human and want to change and want to be better and want to be human. Human is being completely balanced, guys. We are of the earth, which is the lower realms, and we are of the sky, which is our Father, the light. So we are a balance, and we need all of that to be human, but we have to have it in a balance. Those are our chakras, right? And I have a video straight just on chakras. But from the belly down is survival mode. And for 6,000 years, we've been in survival mode. So 6,000 years now, those are our alphas. They're being born from the belly up, because we want to all be in the heart space. A lot of people have been here. It's all about science, all about head, and they got to come down to the heart. We have to be, again, we have to be balanced. And that's the time that we're entering. And that's why it's so important that we understand the word and we understand numbers, because numbers never change. So I hope that you guys were able to grasp a little bit of all the great things that we're going through. I know there's a lot of bad, and it's easy to focus on the bad, but we got to lift up the vibration, because we are in better times. We're able to see the bad so we can get rid of it and dispose of the darkness. That's the only way we're going to be able to see it, because we can't brush it under the rug anymore. So let's be truthful with ourselves and rise up and be with love within ourselves and with our family, our neighbors, because that's how we rise up. It is a spiritual warfare, and a positive vibration vibrates 500 times higher than one negative. And this is also science, because we are in a time where science has met biblical times, because everything will be revealed and everything will show the truth, because there's only one truth. And the one truth is that united we can do and we can arise. And it doesn't mean that you have to be like me and I have to be like you. You just have to be you. You are unique and you are beautiful. And don't be scared to be you, and don't be scared to feel, because we have that beautiful ability, and it's okay to feel. Guys, give yourselves a hug, because I'm sending you a hug right now. Sending you guys a lot of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye-bye.